I was gonna stream this, and then I realized it wasn't something I wanted to really do. Glasses, I know, seem ridiculous, but there's a reason. Last week I threw up, like last Wednesday I threw up so hard. My back spasmed, my esophagus. I'm killing that, don't worry. My esophagus was damaged, and because of my at the time high blood pressure, um, and this is after eating Subway, by the way. I popped an eye. I hemorrhaged my eye, popping a blood vessel in my eye. It looks a lot better today. Still kind of noticeable. It's April. Wednesday, April 28th, the end of April. And this is my first video of the year. And it was because when the year started, 2021, I had hopes I can make a list of 21 things I wanted to accomplish this year. However, I haven't really, like, I've been accomplishing things. Keep in mind, my board is still here, updating currently all the time, regularly. And just every day, every month, I never really felt I got a solid 21 goals. And as the days turned into weeks and the weeks turned into months, I continued to live my life the best way that I know how to do with us. I can't really speak about the first couple months, but I can speak about today and how I feel today. Today, James and A decided that it was a good time for me to watch this movie. Well, for all of us. James started, and then one by one, all of us just kind of came by and watched it too. The movie is, I believe, it's called The Writing on the Bathroom Wall. And it's about a guy who has schizophrenia. And when A told me about it, she was like, "Oh yeah, you should really watch this." And I was just kind of like, "Yeah, I'm not sure, maybe, whatever, one day." Kind of like in the back of my mind, I'm like, "Yeah, when we ever have time," and we never really seem to have time. But watching that movie today, I have to admit, I got kind of teary-eyed. Ideas about a kid who has schizophrenia and how he deals with it, and I swear to goodness, it's like us. A little bit underdeveloped, but us. And Michael goes, "See the things that we miss when we push things back." And I have been pushing a few things back. I've accomplished a lot. I accomplished so much. Matter of fact, I got a camcorder, beginning some of my goals. I'm working on fixing, upgrading this computer. One of the reasons I haven't updated was because this computer can't handle the work that I want, the editing that I want to do with some of the videos. But I'm hoping that by the end of May, I'll have that taken care of because it's been something in the works for months. I've been living in this apartment since January, and I love it. I do. I I I, I don't want to leave it, and that happens to be a problem sometimes. Sometimes. Luckily, I do have people who do care for me, who do want the right thing for me, for us, all of us. Like A, who helped James. Yes, James go shopping today for us. I actually got decently healthy foods, might help regulate the diet. And I've gained 20 pounds being here, which is something I'm definitely not proud of. Michael's been drawing a little bit more. Simon's been programming and planning and writing out reports more often. Even Tobias, believe it or not, yesterday when I had my visitation, Tobias came out. And the reason for it was because I was trying to move my Switch game device that I thought was here, but I guess he must have took it somewhere else. And because I tried to move it, Tobias came out. And since Tobias is pretty close to Xavier's age, they both just kicked it like kids. I think they had fun. And it was something that even Simon was like, this is a good sign. This is a sign that our son, that my son, it might be kind of weird. It might be a little bit of a odd change. But he's going to be okay because we're going to do the best that we can for him to make sure it's not a weird and awkward change. Hell, even Bunny's daughter is getting kind of accustomed to it too. Last night I was talking to Hunter and Renee. Had to remember their actual online names because I can't use their real names. And I was trying to tell Hunter about, the thing with Tobias and my son. And she seemed kind of confused. And we realized really quickly how difficult it is to try to explain to somebody with DID, schizophrenia, and the whole shebang happens to be with us. Bald spot apparently. But Hunter said something. I'm not sure where he was trying to go with it, but it bothered me ever since he said it. Matter of fact, it was one of the reasons why I kind of switched out last night for a little bit. He said, how does it feel to be the weakest member of your entire unit? Now, Hunter tends to say things to be a complete asshole. But it bothered me. I'm not the smartest guy in the group. I'm not. And people who know me like, oh, Nick, you're not that at all. And I have to remind them when I interact with people, it's not just me. But I am. I'm not one for conversation. I'm learning how to do it better. That's not really my level of expertise. And even though whenever me and Hunter go at it, like, in our rivalries, I don't come out on top. It kind of made me think that, okay, maybe I am the weakest member of our unit, of our collective, of our legion, of our us. And Michael, being the entity that he is, sees that something's bothering me, and he doesn't even ask what's up. He doesn't even ask what's going on. Do you want to talk about it? He goes, thanks for being part of the whole. And that means so much. The idea of with this character in this movie with his schizophrenia, they were trying to more or less eliminate, and then you can see the manifestations of what he sees, and it's just like what we see, but the way we do it is different. But even then, he realized that they helped him too. Granted, he knew that eventually he would have to go to a certain level where he shouldn't need them, but they are part of his whole. I am part of an entire entity too. So what, I can't talk well? So what if I'm not the fastest and smartest thinker? So what if I'm not the most creative? I'm me. I'm serious. I'm the doer. I do things. I take care of things to the best of my ability, and I push myself one extra foot forward every time. That's something I should be proud of, and it's something I am proud of. So it's okay to be the weakest unit of the link, of the weakest unit, member of the unit. There we go. Because as long as I do what I do best every time, we'll be okay. So enough of that mushy stuff. Let me give you a quick update of what's going on. Clarion which is the place where my son happens to reside in, currently wanted the last place that my son's mother was, um, which was Erie, to relinquish jurisdiction of the case to Clarion so that they have a better time handling things. Because when we went to court, and keep in mind it was like I believe in February, um, even though she was not prepared, even though she didn't fill out any of the paperwork because she missed meetings and whatnot, they allowed her to finish those things. But because they lost part of my paperwork, there was this big extra step that took them an extra 2 to 3 months to complete. Last week was the actual transfer date. I actually learned through the internet how to write up a documentation, but Erie says that they do things slightly differently than they do in both Clarion and where I currently live now. So I was able to acquire some help from some agencies that were willing to help a guy in my situation, and they did a tremendously great job. Northwestern Legal, if I could just say shout out their name, they did a great job on my case. And luckily, sadly, they were only able to help me out with that aspect since they are located in Erie. And now, since the case is completely transferred over to Clarion, it's back on my court. It's back to me dribbling. It's back to me trying to do the best I can do to go through these hoops. I'm just hoping that I can do it right. But I know that it's not just me. It's a unit once again. So I think we'll do just fine come, the next meeting date this month. Well, the month of May. Another thing that happened recently was that my granddad's dog passed. Well, actually, he had to be put down. He had a cancer. Tumors all over his body. Face, mouth. It was bad. It was really bad. And I haven't been part of that family for as long as other members, obviously, but if I could, Wolfie's passing was just hard on everybody. And then the next day, my brother was in a car accident. Yeah. And I actually made a video about that, which I didn't publish, but I'll probably publish it after this video. Maybe. I don't know. I was very upset that video. Not tears, just upset that I found out through other means, and I guess I figured I wanted to not be the last one to know. For those of you who have watched my other videos, I'm not a fan of being the last one to know. And I definitely thought I was. And the people that everybody else kind of other people don't really appreciate and respect were the people who gave me the information that I needed, the information that I wanted. And for that, I'm extremely grateful for those people who were looking out for me and be like, hey, just to let you know, this is happening. Even though in the back of my mind, I'm like, why aren't the people who are involved letting me know? Because I thought we were that close. Like, hey, just be glad that we're telling you that this is going on. And that's hard. But he's back. He's good. Had surgery. Next up, he's going through recovery decently well. So all things good on that front. And then my sister got sick at the end of that week. I had to be taken to the hospital. She just recently got out, and I'm happy that she's out. I'm hoping that her recovery as well goes well. Me and my girlfriend were doing well. We're doing really great, actually. Matter of fact, we saw Godzilla a couple weeks back, which is a huge thing for me because I have a problem going to movie theaters. I used to have this guy's night out, and it was my cousin and my ex-brother-in-law, and I knew that if anything were to go wrong, they'd be able to hold me down, kind of thing. This is my first time really going out socially, and it wasn't as bad. It really wasn't as bad. I didn't even really dissociate. I was able to kind of remain the guy in the chair watching a movie rather than end up in the movie. Maybe because it was a Godzilla movie, you can't really find many humans in that. this coming weekend we should be watching Mortal Kombat, so we see how well that works. Everything with Bunny right now is going pretty well, honestly. Was able to, well, I'm currently paying for um a laptop. That way, if for whatever reason that I have to be stuck at her place, I can still do visitation, take notes, send out emails, do the whole my level of adulting thing, you know? So yeah. Um what else? What else? Hmm. Princess is doing well. It's kind of a push and pull thing there, which is Bunny's daughter. But I do think things are progressing very well. Um, it's nice to know that like she's always like, "Hey, where's Nick?" Or like if I'm going like, "Oh, why did Nick leave?" And it's like, "Oh, baby, he just got other things to take care of. He got his own place. He got his own thing. He's trying to make things work." But the fact that she just asked, like, "Hey, where did he go? I kind of miss him." Kind of makes me feel real nice and warm and fuzzy on the inside. I'm doing all right. A little struggling here and there. Even today, A was like, "Hey, you're not really here. And it seems like you're trying to like run away, and you've been kind of like, your meetings haven't been as consistent, not just with A, but with other agencies as well." And I guess I'm trying to. I don't know. Lately, I don't want to see people face to face, and luckily, COVID happens to give me that well structured excuse there. But I don't know. Maybe I'm gonna try to change that this week. But I realized that a lot of things happen in my life. Even Hunter was saying like, "Yo, man, every Friday is a brand new story, brand new things happening. Your life is constantly going, bad or good. There's always advancements." He's not. He didn't say that well. Well, I'm taking it like that, and he's right. Every week is a different thing. Is a new. It's like a TV show. Like what's going to happen on this episode. This season's a completely different season. This last season, everything else. Life is crazy, and that's okay. I just hope that next week I have a better set of stories to tell you guys or let you know what's going on. But right now, I don't know. Maybe next week I might actually talk about my 21 goals. But for today, I think 20 minutes is enough time for you guys to hear my voice and be like, okay, we're done hearing it. Even Porsche yesterday when we were trying to explain, she was just kind of like, but it is what it is, as Danny would say. A lot of things are going to be happening in the next couple of weeks. I'm excited for the middle of the year. I got a big thing planned. Huge, huge thing that like it almost blows minds. Like it blows my mind. I'm even like still doing it. Um, so if I talk about something called Operation Ocean Splash, that's it. All right, I'm done talking. Thank you guys for watching, and who knows, maybe next week I might actually have another video. Later.